to discuss the imploding football club that is Real Madrid. Because it's not just the players that are just fighting it out like it's UFC or WWE. It is the hierarchy, also the owners. Because today, their president, Florentino Perez, had a press conference and he just went off. Not only that, one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time, Iker Casillas, was on Twitter just saying that Mourinho shouldn't be the coach of the team because he is not the fit and he would probably lead them down the drain, which is like, and he said it's not personal, but man, if you're going to put that out on social media, it's crazy. So let's go over what Perez said. He said he's not sorry that he won't resign. Instead, calling, like he said, he's sorry that he won't resign. Instead, calling for an election 3 years early and threatening other candidates to run against him if they can, which is wild. Like he has 3 years left, and he's like he wants an election. This is like some mob boss stuff. First questions are sporting related, but immediately he says that he will not be talking about sporting matters. He insists that Real Madrid is not a dictatorship and that he has been the best president of all time, winning 74 titles, and that the only way they will get him out is if they shoot him. I've never seen a club implode like this. Like, I will even say Blue is not even this bad. Like, he claims Real Madrid players fight every season and that it's totally normal. At least 4 or 5 players hit each other per year, and he defends both Chomeni and Valverde as good kids. I genuinely think one of them, or there's going to be a clear out at Real Madrid because this is insane. I saw a meme that said Real Madrid has literally become the Real Housewives. You could rename it the Real Housewives of Real Madrid because it's that insane. And then apparently he picks out his phone from his pocket to start reading news and laughing at fake news from multiple outlets. This man is unhinged. Um, he says he's a supernatural animal, a beast that works day and night, denying rumors of cancer and tiredness. Do you know who he reminds me of? I will not lie. Let's make a quick detour because he reminds me of this man right here. By the way that he is coming out and saying all of these things. He reminds me of this man right here, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because this is some wild stuff that he is saying, that he needs to be shot, that is an animal. This man is in his 70s, 80s, by the way. Perez is in his 70s, 80s, running it like this. The only way they got Vince out was because obviously the allegations came out and stuff. I hope that Paris doesn't have the same because obviously that is a leader of a big institute. But it's crazy what he's saying right now. Let's go back. Attacks Barcelona for the Negara case, saying it's the most disrespectful scandal in football history, and they have prepared a document to send to FIFA to report Barcelona. We have to look at that. Confirms Real Madrid have the most valuable squad in the world. I mean, that is obvious. They have like the most expensive players ever. He also started arguing with journalists in front of him during the press conference, threatening to cancel his subscriptions to the media. He calls himself a construction mogul, claiming his companies generate billions of euros in revenue worldwide. This man is just. I don't know if he has a publicist or if this man is just going out because this was like a whole press conference. Claims he called the presser to defend Real Madrid from the robberies, saying he would at least have 7 more league titles if they weren't robbed from him. Okay. And then obviously urged the fans and members of the club to support the players and not to boo them. And then says goodnight and leaves the room saying he hopes to never see the journalists again. I can't lie, this sounds like it was in a movie or something because this is crazy. This is insane. Okay, let's see. There's more quotes here. He also said this season refereeing stole 18 points from us. I mean, I can't say that when Barcelona destroyed them. Um, let's see. That's pretty much it. He said La Liga, their league, the Spanish league, is our eternal enemy. There is systematic corruption in the Negreira case with Barcelona, but we will fight. I will fight against everyone. We are preparing a 500-page dossier that I will send to UEFA regarding this corruption case. Yeah, this man is completely lost it. I won't lie. Everyone in Real Madrid has lost it. From Mbappe not even going to the El Clasico match, but like posting while they were 2-0 down to say Hala Madrid is wild, to the players obviously fighting, to players probably leaving, like madness, to Iker Casillas. Let me go to Iker Casillas. Let's go to his tweets. There we go. Oh, okay. This man is he even okay. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. May 8th. He started saying, when Real Madrid goes 2 seasons without winning a title, it's time to worry. The Clasico was really tough, which they lost 2-0 before it even started to being played. Let's look ahead for next season, which is fine. Um, what did he say? I couldn't care less. There was something that he said about Mourinho. He said, I have no problem with Mourinho. He seems like a great professional to me. I don't want him at Real Madrid. I think the other coaches would be better equipped to coach the club of my life. Personal opinion, nothing more. And then also he just left this. Do you like Florentino Perez as a press conference? And he said, I did. Yeah, this club is just finished. This club is finished. Like, I don't know where they go. Like, obviously there has to be a clear out, right? Like, there has to be a clear out. Because players like Charmany, Valverde, all of them just kind of need to leave. And then you introduce Mourinho into it. It might be one of the like craziest clubs to look forward to next year, and not just for like good sporting reasons, just for like the drama that's already happening. We've already got the dictator Mbappe there also, and then there's another brief that says there are players that are likely to leave, like Alaba, Carvajal, Camavinga, because the club wants to sell. Lunin also, Ceballos, Frank Garcia, Asensio, Gonzalo, and Mastodon. Like, there's a lot happening at Real Madrid, man. It's so funny. We need to speak about the state of the Premier League. VAR is controlling where things are going. We had it on Sunday when Arsenal played West Ham and that whole controversy. I will admit that it was a foul, but there were hundreds of other fouls that were happening in that box there. There was Mavropanos, there was Declan Rice on Mavropanos, there was Trossard on Pablo. There was just so many fouls. My way of dealing with that situation would have been the keeper, well, they just restart the whole corner and they take it again, because there is no way that you don't restart. Usually they do just restart it and they just let them take it again. And if the same thing happens, then you either call a foul on either Arsenal or West Ham, depending on whatever happened. But you cannot just overturn it and give it to one team. I feel like they're giving the goalkeeper a bit too much leeway. Like, a goalkeeper can be fouled. And Arsenal are not even they're trying to play victims with this, because they've been doing this to teams season in, season out, especially this season. I can pinpoint lots of times where they did this, but it happened, it's done. It was a foul. We move on. And then we had it the next day where Spurs were playing Leeds. And at the end, Spurs had something that was very contentious in terms of a penalty. And if they had won that match, or if they had got that penalty and won that match, they probably would have ended up away from the relegation zone. If you do see with 2 games to go. Let's see where are the points. Yeah, Tottenham on 38 points, West Ham on 36. Tottenham's next game is Chelsea. West Ham's next game is Newcastle. So West Ham would need a favour from Chelsea in order to escape the relegation zone, but they'd also have to beat Newcastle, and they're playing away, so that would be tough. If they end up as draws, it goes to the final day, and then Tottenham play Everton, West Ham play Leeds. So again, there's a bit so much on the line in that one. And I also will point out Liverpool Chelsea game also. João Pedro was fouled by Frimpong there. I didn't pay attention to it that much because I mean it's not gonna have that much of an effect. But still, like there's a lot that goes into it. Let's also look at the reverse of what it would have meant for Arsenal. If Arsenal had drawn that game against West Ham, they would have been on 77 points, and City play Crystal Palace tomorrow. If they had won, they would have been on 77 points and it would have gone to a goal difference. So that kind of changes things. What Arsenal need 2 more games to win in order to kind of win, or Man City lose and then they just need to win the next game. Arsenal's next game is against Burnley. Man City's game is obviously against Crystal Palace, and then they face Chelsea in the FA Cup final on Saturday, and then they move on to, let's see what the next match after this is. Matches. Then they'd have Villa, if I'm not mistaken. See more matches. Then they'd have Bournemouth and then Villa the last day. So there's kind of a lot to play for. Obviously, they cannot give up. Um, they'd have to have probably get a favor from Burnley, who are obviously relegated. Their form is terrible, by the way. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. In their last game, they got a draw against Aston Villa. So the league would probably have to be dependent on Michael Jackson and his Burnley team. Yes, the coach of Burnley is named Michael Jackson. So it'd have to be bad in order to stop Arsenal from winning the league. And then let's go to the chase for Europe. In terms of the chase for Europe, I mean, obviously it's kind of done there. The top five's kind of been solidified. Um, but a sixth spot is probably available. Liverpool play Villa the next game. And this has a big implication for what happens to that sixth spot, because if Villa end up fifth, but they win the Europa League, then the sixth spot, which is currently Bournemouth, gets a Champions League spot. But there's still Brighton, Brentford, and maybe there that can get the Champions League spot. But like I said, it's still up in the air. I think one win for either Bournemouth or Brighton seals Champions League. Well, I mean, potentially, depending on if Villa do finish fifth and win the Europa League.